Hello, it's Alan yet again. I thought I would just do a little chat about some social and work related aspects of transitioning because it's been a while since I've talked about that. I made a video last summer when I talked about coming out to my colleagues at work. I work at two colleges, I teach, but I haven't really given much of an update about teaching or being with my colleagues. Or friends or whatever, so let me talk about that. So one really cool thing that goes in the social category is, as some of you already know, I was visited by our YouTube friend Forrest because he was in the area getting his top surgery recently, and I was taking care of him for the first several days, and that was actually really cool because Forrest is an awesome guy, and we had a lot of fun together, and so that aspect of it was really great, and I'm really thankful for that. And I can put a link to a video that he created about his surgery experience, in which I am featured a little bit. So if you haven't seen that yet, I'll post it. And yeah, it was just cool to help him since I knew what it felt like to be on his end of that surgery experience and how hard it is. So it was just interesting and felt good. It was fun to be with him, so yeah. And then in other news, other realms, I'm still going to a monthly FTM sort of support group thing locally, and I enjoy that. I'm really thankful for that. So if you yourself don't do that, or if you haven't thought about it, I encourage you to do an internet search or something and see if there's anything like that where you live, because it can be a really great way to make friends and have a chance to talk about your experience or your concerns or your questions about transitioning. And other things. Well, I continue to have just really positive experiences around my transition and coming out to people. So I'm thankful for that. I mean, I've been surprised because I always hear trans people, or even, of course, gay people, talk about negative experiences they've had with people around coming out and so forth. So it's almost kind of strange that I've had almost like totally positive experiences. I'm thankful. Um, so my mom has been really good lately. It's very sweet. I know that this has been very hard for her, and she's had times of being very sad about my transition, and it's been a gigantic adjustment for her. But she's really tried to, support me and to adjust, and I am very deeply thankful for that. Like, she calls my brother and me her boys and stuff like that, which is very cute and sweet. And she has been very comforted, it seems, by the fact that I'm still the same person. It's not like I suddenly morphed into this, like, offensive bro, you know? So I get the impression that she finds that reassuring and comforting, so maybe that could help you guys if you know that maybe your relatives or friends don't realize that transitioning means that you're not going to be a completely different person. So maybe tell them that. If that's what you think will happen with you, of course. And, oh yeah, so I've been continuing to come out to extended family and family friends that I don't normally see or talk to and who are not on Facebook. And that has gone well. There have been a couple that I wrote letters to that I have not heard back from. And then there's one that I did hear back from and got a really wonderful, very kind letter. So that made me feel really good. And, other social/work stuff. I've been working on my official name change. I would say I'm mostly done with my official name change in that I've done the court order, I've done Social Security, I got my driver's license, and I made a video about getting the court order and Social Security, so I won't repeat that stuff. It was really exciting to get my driver's license. Can I show it to you? I won't show you any of the personal details, but this is very awkward. But that's it. Yes, I'm very happy about it. That I enjoy looking at it from time to time. So after doing that, I was able to officially change my name at my workplaces, which is one of the most important name changes that I wanted to get done. So now I still have to do all the, like, bank and credit cards and health insurance and doctor's office and all that, which I'm going to continue working on in the coming weeks. What else? Oh yeah, so in my name change experience, that was really smooth and positive. Like, nobody at these state agencies or at my workplaces or even at the rock climbing gym where I changed my name, nobody gave me any trouble or asked me any unnecessary questions. So that was a really nice surprise. I guess, people can surprise you with their acceptance or lack of caring, as the case may be. Oh yeah, so when I was at the DMV working on getting my license changed, the staff person who helped me had the appearance of a young butch woman. I don't know if that's how she identified, but that's what she looked like, so that was cool. That felt good. What else? So, teaching, I could say a word about that. My teaching has been quite smooth. Back in the fall, when I first began teaching with my new identity, my name was still on the course schedule as my old name, so I just told students on the first day, like, well, actually, I go by Alan, because Allison is not the best name for guy, is it? So, one queer student, and who I talked with later, and we both came out to each other, she told me, like, yeah, that occurred to me at the beginning, that you might be trans, that I might be trans, which is fine. I'm not trying to go totally stealth. I just find it exhausting to, like, really try hard to hide things. So I don't really want to get into that at this period of my experience. It's not like I immediately come out to everybody. No. But at the same time, it's not like I go to great lengths to hide that I'm trans. It just takes up too much energy of the sort that I don't find fulfilling or anything like that. But that's just me. Yeah, so teaching has been fine. I haven't been aware of receiving any negative comments or reactions from my students. They've been respectful to me. They haven't called me anything that I don't want to be called. And I'm thankful that I pass well. Something else I was going to say. What else? Something related to that. Oh yeah, so the only kind of negative and annoying thing that I've experienced in my work is that even more than pre-transition, people think that I'm a really young guy. And that gets me down, especially like on the first day of class, when I'm talking and introducing myself and a student will say, "How old are you?" Like, that doesn't feel good. That kind of pisses me off. And I choose to tell them how old I am, I'm 32, because even though, yeah, they don't need to know, and it's kind of an inappropriate question, I would still prefer for them to realize that I am not 24 or something. And then one time I was going to the campus library to put a textbook on reserve, and there was a student working at the library desk, and I went up there and I was like, I would like to put this book on reserve. And I was dressed really nice. I had a tie on. I had my little, like, shoulder briefcase thing. And he was like, "You're an instructor?" Or, like, "You're a professor?" And I was like, "Yeah." And maybe he didn't mean anything particularly negative, but it's like, do you really need to talk that way to somebody? So, I hate that, but I'm sure that that'll decrease as time goes on. But yeah, everybody just reads me as a guy, which is appropriate and feels good. Like, once in a while I'll chat with strangers, like at the grocery store or at the climbing gym, and they definitely just read me as a guy, and I have to admit that that makes things much less awkward than they were before, when people couldn't tell what my gender was, or when maybe they thought that they could tell what it was, but I had no idea. I couldn't read their mind. I couldn't tell what they thought my gender was, so that was difficult. So kind of a side benefit of transitioning and being my real true self is that it just happens to make some interactions less awkward, which is nice. And kind of related to that, as I've said before, I've just been using men's restrooms, and I don't really feel nervous about that at all now, because I've done it quite a bit, and I've never had any problems, and it's just an amazing feeling to be able to be in a public restroom and to not feel completely nervous as I was when I would use women's restrooms before transition, because of course 90% of people thought that I was a guy, so that did not work well. It's just so nice to be able to just stand there, wash my hands, look in the mirror, not have to rush, not have to be afraid of how every person is going to view me or what they might say to me. So that's really awesome. And I just wish that there were more single occupancy, unisex restrooms, so that everybody, including genderqueer appearing people, can have that comfortable experience using the restroom, because everyone deserves that. But I will definitely continue to fight for those single occupancy unisex restrooms at the colleges where I work, or where I will work in the future, because everybody deserves that. So, yeah, well, I think that's pretty much all I want to say right now. Yeah, alright. Okay, thank you for watching. Bye.